If you're new to this channel, you may consider subscribing and hit the bell icon so that you continue to receive the updates. Please share it with all others who might benefit. Let's get started. Data science myths versus reality. The freshers often receive a feedback that they lack experience. On the other hand, the people who have work experience and want to switch to a career in data science get to hear that they've never done data science before. So how do we strike a balance? So this is not a simple question to answer, but I can assure you if you watch this short video till end, you will definitely get a better perspective on this. I'll try to give you an example to help you understand how domain knowledge plays an important role in your data science career. So let's say you're trying to assist a bank predict who is going to default on a credit card payment for the next cycle. And the features that are made available to you are the payment amount, the bill amount, and the credit limit. Now, if someone approaches this problem from a typical data science perspective without knowing much about the domain, this person would say these three variables are given to me and I'm supposed to predict whether a credit card user is going to default or not, so I try any kind of classification model here. But how a domain expert would approach the same problem is a little different. So the domain expert would try to understand if some more information could be extracted out of the given data. For example, we know the payment amount and we know the bill amount. What if we divide the payment amount by the bill amount? That will be a payment to bill ratio. And what does it tell us? Let's say for a particular person, there is a certain amount that's billed and the payment is equivalent to the billed amount or more than the billed amount. Do we have a risk? The answer is no. Why? Because the person is capable of paying whatever is billed. That's a good sign. However, if for someone the payment amount is less than the bill amount, that's a bit of risk. But again, it's good for the banks because if you carry forward a balance on your credit card, they get to charge you a high interest rate. However, if this payment amount goes less than the minimum due amount, then of course there is a risk because you're not able to keep your minimum commitment. That's a problem. So same information could be interpreted more meaningfully if you derive a ratio like this. Now let's move on to another ratio that we could have looked at in this case, which is the bill amount to the credit limit. So bill amount to credit limit is a measurement of the credit limit utilization. And you would often see the credit card issuers running the reward programs for more spends. Why? Because if you spend more on a card, they get to make more money. They of course charge the vendors certain percentage cut for every transaction that happens, whether it's a swipe or an online payment. So they make more money if you spend more. And if after spending that money, you carry forward a balance, they get to charge you the interest as well. But overall, this is a measure of credit limit utilization. So if someone is using the credit limit and paying responsibly, they'll be happy. Let's look at the interaction between the earlier variable, which was the payment to bill ratio, and the bill to credit limit ratio. If the payment to bill ratio is consistent and it's more than 1, which means you're able to always pay back on time, and your bill to credit limit ratio is actually increasing, that's a good sign because whatever you spend, you're able to pay back. However, if we see the movement in these two variables in the opposite direction, what I mean is if the payment to bill ratio is going down, but the bill to credit limit ratio is going up, that's a big red flag. Why? Because payment to bill ratio suggests that your ability to pay back is declining. Bill to credit limit ratio suggests that your spends are going up, and this could be a likely case of default. So now you can imagine how simple features that were given to you in an original form were transformed into some meaningful ratios in this particular example, and we could get a better understanding of how the default behavior might be. So in a nutshell, when it comes to domain knowledge, it can play a very important role in your data science career. And you may not become a domain expert overnight, but you can always seek assistance from people who are domain experts. They'll give you valuable insights and make your models more meaningful. Otherwise, fitting a model to just about any data without deriving the meaning out of it is an average task, which anybody can perform. So hope this gives you some food for thought. Thank you.